German authorities on Thursday searched the apartment near Frankfurt that was used by Andreas Lubitz, the 27-year-old German co-pilot of the Airbus A320 that crashed Tuesday in the French Alps.
The French authorities have not given us any specific information regarding what we should be looking for here, but of course we will search the entire apartment, and naturally, we're hoping that this will give some indication of, let's say, the circumstances that might eventually have led to the plane crash, or perhaps a motivation.
Flight recordings indicate that Lubitz most likely locked the pilot out of the cockpit before deliberately ramming the aircraft into a mountain. The investigation so far has revealed that Lubitz had a period of depression, which forced him to take a 6-month break from flight training. Before resuming the training, he passed physical and psychological tests. Experts say that crash makes it clear the procedures are inadequate.
The
aptitude tests will have to be revised. The psychological part will have to be extended massively. But most of all, the pilots will have to be psychologically cared for outside their occupation in a way that has not been the case so far. For one, to check their psychological condition at the annual medical checkups, whether they have any life crises, worries, or are they under pressure from the outside. And the pilots will have to be trained to check on their colleagues and ask them how they are doing, whether they are doing badly, or whether they feel excluded, mobbed, whether they feel depressed.
German aviation expert Harald Stocker says a deliberate plane crash will affect the commercial as the September 11 terrorist attacks did in 2001.
So far, we assumed that pilots do not have any suicidal intentions, that they fly responsibly, and now we have learned that pilots can kill 150 people on board by having suicidal intentions.
Safety procedures established after 2001 enable pilots to lock themselves in the cockpit to prevent terrorists from hijacking the plane. Stocker says that rule is likely to stay in place, but other regulations may be added to ensure safety.
In America, for instance, there is a rule that a pilot must never be alone in the cockpit. And if there are only 2 pilots, a cabin attendant must step in if one of the 2 leaves the cockpit, so that at least 2 people are present who can look after each other.
People in Germany, France, and Spain on Thursday honored the victims of the crash. Some traveled to the crash location in the French Alps. Psychologists say knowledge that someone deliberately caused the deaths of their loved ones will make the loss harder to bear. Zlatica Hoke, VOA News, Washington.